I'm doing another video. This one is my completed charging station to use at deer camp or going fishing over the weekend or going just camping or using emergencies at home when the power's off. You've seen the other video I just posted a few days ago and it said completed. It wasn't completed yet. But I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what I've got. My cell phone is low on charge, so I'm going to show you how I can charge. And let's just take a look at it and show you what I got. Okay, this is the charging station. Now this, a lot of people call a solar generator because here, right here, I got a Bino Power foldable solar panel, 4 panels. And that will hook into here, and I get my voltage hit stuff here, amperage. Now this amperage right now, the way it's hooked up, it's only when I'm charging something, not when the panel is charging. So I don't know exactly how much amperage is going into the battery from solar charging. But you notice I got a note here, turn on before plugging in solar panel. 2 things have to be done. Well, really 1 thing. This has to be turned on. So when this is turned on, well, 2 things. I'm wrong. Up here on the panel, you got 2, 4, 6 USB ports. Okay, this is 12-volt cigarette lighter port. This is Anderson power pole port. Everything is on its own switches. This switch here is the main. I just turned it on. Now, if I turn on this switch, it's going to tell me how many volts I got. It says 13.3, but something is wrong with this because I've checked the batteries. They're not 13.3, so I don't know where this is coming from. So I've got a replacement meter on the way that's going to give me voltage and amps. But the main thing is you got to have the main power on. Okay, with the main power on, it tells you what the batteries actually are. They're 12.6, and I can confirm that. Now, there's no amps being drawn because we're not charging anything. But if I'm going to hook the solar panels on, I have to turn this switch on. And I'll get ready to hook up the solar panels here in a minute. Okay, before I hook up the solar panels, I'm going to turn this on. This activates the 12-volt port. This, of course, activates the USB. You should be able to see the light on. And then I can cut that off. Turn this one on, and it activates that USB port. Turn it off. Turn this one on, and I've got a replacement switch because the bulb is burnt out in this. But you can see that one's on. And then for the Anderson power pole connectors, turn that on. Now, the USB, of course, everybody knows, these are 5 volts. This is 12 volt. This is 12 volt. Now, I've got the solar generator on, but I've got to find something to prop up open this lid so it doesn't lay all the way back. So, just hold on a second and I'll be right back. Okay, here's the inside of the lid. This is one of the USB ports. This is the switch for it. This is the master switch. This is the switch for the voltmeter, the cigarette lighter plug, and the other USB port. I have everything run to a fuse panel. Got 15 amp fuses in these 2 USB sockets. I've got 20 amp fuses on everything else, and then the main power coming from the batteries coming in goes into a 20 amp fuse that's right here. And then I used a cutting board from Walmart, $2.47, cut it down to fit inside, and I put legs on it. But I mounted the solar controller right there, and right now it's showing 12.6 volts. I am going to turn the load off because I don't have nothing hooked to the load, and I'm not going to be using these USB ports. So I just turned the load off. Now, this is already ready for me to plug in the solar panels. let me get that ready and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, as you can see, hopefully, it is 5:36. You have cloudy skies, the sun's going back behind the clouds. This is the 4-panel solar panel from Bioenno. Right here, it has its own USB port, and you can actually get another set of these panels and chain them together. But it has the cord coming out, and of course the cord is running down here, running up to this adapter I made. This is an SAE plug. Made this adapter with power pole connectors. This is where it plugs in, and we're seeing still 12.6 volts. But if you look at the meter, you can see right here, and you can see the arrow flashing. The solar panels are charging this battery. Now, it's not efficient because we are in clouds. If it was clear skies and the sun was above, it'd be a lot better. But the solar panel comes in through this cord right here, comes out of here, comes in, plugs into this side. This is a solar panel input. You got positive here, negative here. This other cord, 2 cords, red and black. This one's got a 30 amp fuse in it. This is the battery coming in. You got positive here and negative here. Now, like I said, I'm not using the solar charge controller output load, because I'm just using this to charge the batteries, control the batteries. There is menus here that you can set. I've got this set to where it won't charge more than 13.8 volts. 12.6. I have to look at the menu to find out what that 12.6. I may need to up that up to 12.8. But 11.3, if this solar charger is on at 11.3, it will cut everything off where I can't use it. The load is on 24 hours. And B1 is for my sealed lead acid battery. Like I said, right now we're at 12.6 volts. Like I said, if the sun was out, that number would be higher because it's the panel charging the battery. Let me get the top lifted out of here so you can see down inside. What I have, which I told in the other video, is 3 12-volt, 7.5 amp hour batteries hooked in parallel. Positive to positive to positive. Negative, negative, negative. And that gives me 12 volts and triples my amp hours. So I should have close to 22 and a half amp hours. Down inside, I have some storage. I have a cigarette lighter plug, power pole connector. I have another power pole connector with alligator clips. And then I have a 110 charger where I can plug this up in the house and charge these batteries instead of the solar panels. And then I carry an extra bag of fuses. But this is it in a nutshell. I do have 2 LEDs and another switch. I'm thinking about maybe putting some LEDs here on the front, here and here. That way you can use it as a light if you need to. Okay, the main purpose of this is to have it at camp to use to charge the batteries on this. I've got a USB little block that the battery plugs into and plugs into here. Charge the batteries for my Canon, my Sony, My GoPro, I have USB chargers for all of them. Plus, to show you that it's working, I'm going to go ahead and plug my phone charger cable in. And it's kind of hard to do one-handed. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm all plugged in. Main power's on. And you can see it's charging my phone. Especially if you get up there in the corner. You've seen a little battery thing, but you can see the, get the glare off of it. You can see the little lightning bolt, and it's charging my phone. So it does work, and works with the solar panel. And where I just started to charge my phone, it's pulling, looks like 3.36 amps. My voltage went down to 12.4. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. A lot of times these flicker when it's being recorded, not looking at it. It doesn't show any sign of flickering. But video recording, it looks like it's flickering, but it's 0.35 amps being drawn to charge that phone. But that's what this was for. But so when we're at camp and we don't have the generators or whatever, we can use this to charge our cameras, our GoPros, our camp radios, because we got them to where with the extended battery pack, there's a USB charger for them instead of using the desktop charger. You can charge your cell phones, because we use cell phones a lot for recording. But the one thing you have to remember, like I said, this is very urgent if you try to build one of these yourself, is if you use solar panels and you got that controller like I have inside, you must turn on that controller before you plug in the panels. And the reason why you turn on that controller is, and the reason why we put a switch in, is if you didn't have a switch and you just had the wire running to the battery from the controller, that little display screen you seen runs all the time. So if you was going to put this away for a month, 2 months, that little display screen is drawing power. So it will drain the batteries. So that's the reason why you put a switch. So the wire from the controller going to the battery is wired into this, and then there's a wire going to the battery. And one other thing, if I can get this back out again, I watched one other guy's video, and I wanted to stress this because I learned it from watching other videos, is when you're hooking this controller up, you want your positive, your main positive, to go to the controller wire going in, and then you put the switch in, like I said. Your negative coming out of the controller for the battery needs to go all the way over on the opposite end. That's what this is. Now the way this is wired up right now is the charge controller goes to the switch. The battery power comes from the switch, goes into the voltage meter, and then from the voltage meter goes all the way across through here and into this 20 amp breaker or fuse, goes into this 20 amp fuse, and then this is the main power lead that goes to this switch. No, when it goes to this the main switch turns on the power, and then travels back and goes into the battery. But the reason why you do that is if you hooked the solar controller to this positive, this negative, it is charging this well before charging these two. This way, it's kind of like a balanced charge. You have it coming into here, the positive, and you got the negative from the controller going into here. So it's charging all three of these simultaneously. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not an electrician, but you can watch other YouTube videos to see it done. But I'll put these little legs on here so this board doesn't set right down on the battery. Everything sits in here nice and neat. When I unhook this cable here to here, or from the box to here, I roll that up, it lays right here, and then all this just shuts up and it's all sealed. So that is the charging station that we will be using at camp, or when the power goes out. And like I said, I might put LEDs here on the front, right below here with a switch, so it can be used as a light while you're setting in camp. Who knows? So that's it. Appreciate you watching J&J True Outdoor Adventures. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and just stay tuned for more videos. I still got to do the backpack, Tim. Still got to do the backpack. Somebody else asked about it too. I still got to do it. I've been trying to get Jared's four-wheeler started. It's, well, don't, forgive all the mess in the backyard, but it's sitting right there, and I believe I'm going to have to take the carburetor off of it and rebuild it. But just a lot going on. Last week it rained every day. That's the reason why I started building this. If I had all the components, somebody at work asked me how long it would take to build this. If I had all the components, one day, and I could build this. But I had to order the solar controller, and it didn't come in till today. I ordered it last week, and it didn't come in till today. Today's Friday. So that's it. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.